Orochimaru and Sasori, the Immortal Art Duo. We barely know anything about their time together, but that mystery honestly makes them way more interesting. Orochimaru and Sasori were one of the very first Akatsuki teams, and they worked together long enough for Orochimaru to actually see what Sasori really looked like under that creepy puppet armor, Hiruko. And that's a huge deal, because Sasori was insanely private about his real body. The fact that Orochimaru got to see it means there was a pretty deep level of trust between them, at least for a while. If you think about it, this duo was basically a perfect combo on paper. Both were total geniuses in forbidden jutsu, and both were obsessed with transcending death, straight-up maniacs for immortality. Sasori turned himself into a puppet, removing every human need like sleep or hunger, and could live forever as long as his chakra core wasn't destroyed. Orochimaru, on the other hand, kept jumping bodies, shedding skin like a damn snake, and living on indefinitely in a new host. Two monsters who literally refused to die. That kind of mindset gives you a massive edge when you're running Black Ops for Akatsuki. But here's where it gets spicy. Both of them were perfectionists, totally consumed by their own art. Sasori viewed human puppets as his masterpiece, while Orochimaru saw human experimentation as the key to evolution. When you throw two egos that massive into one team, you know it's going to explode eventually. They both wanted different partners. And in the end, Orochimaru ditched Akatsuki completely. Why? Because he wanted Itachi Uchiha's body, and Akatsuki said hell no. That betrayal hit Sasori hard. He took it personally, like deeply personally. Even after Orochimaru left, Sasori kept tabs on him, tracking his moves and holding onto that grudge like it was part of his soul. Sasori and Deidara, the artists, yeah. Sasori and Deidara didn't just disagree on tactics or personality. Their entire philosophy of art was straight up opposite. Sasori believed art was eternal. Beauty preserved forever in his perfect puppets. Deidara? He thought art was fleeting. The beauty of a blast only exists in the moment before it disappears. And we're not talking small disagreements. These two argued about it every chance they got. But that tension actually made them one of the most effective tactical teams in the organization. Let's start with how Deidara joined Akatsuki, because it says a lot about their power dynamic. He was basically forced to replace Orochimaru as Sasori's partner. Imagine being a cocky, explosion-obsessed artist and being forced to work for a terrorist organization, then get paired with someone who constantly critiques your art. That's exactly what Deidara was dealing with, and it created a constant layer of tension in their partnership. When it comes to fighting, their combo is actually insanely good if you break it down. Sasori specializes in poison and mid-range combat, using puppets loaded with hidden weapons, traps, and deadly toxins. He likes fighting up close, so he can control his puppet perfectly and make sure his poison hits its mark. Hiruko, the puppet he usually hides inside, is like a mobile fortress with a poison tail and built-in defenses. When Sasori reveals his real body and uses the third Kazekage as a puppet, he can control iron sand to create massive structures that can crush enemies or form nearly impenetrable barriers. Now Deidara is the complete opposite. He's all about long-range attacks, raining chaos from above with his flying clay birds and a literal arsenal of bombs made from the mouths on his hands. He likes to stay far away, drop explosives safely, and just admire the explosions he creates. His jutsu lets him control the entire battlefield from the sky, turning everything into rubble. In seconds, he can even make tiny clay spiders crawl into an enemy's clothes and blow them up from the inside, or unleash giant bomb-carrying birds that can flatten entire villages. When you pair these two styles, you get a team that can dominate literally any fight range. Sasori's role in the duo was also to keep Deidara in check. Deidara was the newbie, impulsive, and reckless. Sasori had way more experience, had been in Akatsuki longer, and Deidara had to respect his position, even if he grumbled about it. It's like a classic senpai-kuhai relationship. The younger one has to learn from the veteran, whether they like it or not. Their biggest mission was capturing the One Tail from Gaara, and they pulled it off brilliantly. Deidara fought Gaara and successfully captured him, proving he was fully worthy as an Akatsuki member. But the collapse of this duo came when Sasori got killed by Sakura and Chiyo in battle. Deidara was super pissed, not because he cared for Sasori as a friend, but because he lost his rival in their eternal art debates. Later, Deidara got paired with Tobi, a total idiot who drove him nuts, and eventually, Deidara died in a massive explosion while fighting Sasuke. Juzo and Itachi. Alright, we gotta talk about this duo, the one most people either totally forgot or never even knew existed. Juzo Biwa and Itachi Uchiha were one of the shortest-lived pairs in Akatsuki, but damn, their teamwork was absolutely next level. They developed this insanely tight combat coordination system that made them a pure assassination and sabotage unit. These two carried out at least 3 missions together before everything went down in flames. What makes this pair so unique is how they built their own battle formation system with letter codes. Formation A was basically their freestyle mode, both of them attacking separately, using whatever jutsu they wanted depending on the situation. But Formation B, that's where their real synergy kicked in. Itachi would open the fight with genjutsu or some crazy shuriken jutsu to completely shut down the target's senses, and right at that moment, Juzo would charge in with the Kubikiri Bocho to finish the job clean. It was the perfect assassination combo, totally lethal. The victim never even got the chance to react. Once you got caught in Itachi's Sharingan genjutsu, you were already done. While you're standing there lost and confused, trying to figure out what just happened, boom, the Kubikiri Bocho is already slicing your head clean off. Formation C, that one was way darker. It was Juzo's personal request. If he ever got captured by Kirigakure, he wanted Itachi to kill him, straight up. Juzo used to be one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, but he defected for reasons nobody really knows. Still, the fear of being dragged back to that bloody village haunted him so much that he made a death pact with his own partner. And that's deep trust. He trusted Itachi enough to literally put his life and his death in the hands of a teenage newcomer to Akatsuki. The tragedy of this duo hit hard when they ran into Yagura, the 4th Mizuka Ge, one of the strongest Kage of his era, and the Jinchuriki of the Three Tails. The fight was brutal. Juzo got killed in battle, but before he died, Itachi placed a fragment of the Kubikiri Bocho in his hand as a final sign of respect. That tiny gesture said everything. Itachi truly respected his partner, even though they'd only worked together for a short time. Juzo's death left a lasting mark on Itachi. After that, he got paired with Kisame Hoshigaki, another member of the 7 Swordsmen, carrying the legendary blade Samahada. Maybe Akatsuki realized something from the Itachi-Juzo pairing. If you team up a genius Uchiha with a mist swordsman, you get an absolute monster of a duo. Itachi and Kisame. The moment they show up, you know someone's about to get absolutely wrecked. Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki aren't just one of the strongest teams in Akatsuki, they're also one of the most well-developed duos in the entire organization. Kisame straight up said they fit together perfectly because both of them have that killer rep, literally. Itachi wiped out his whole Uchiha clan, and Kisame, he murdered his own squad, and even his former Mizuka Ge total traitors man. And that shared darkness is exactly what made their connection so freakishly solid. If you break down their tactics, you'll see they're the textbook definition of perfect balance. Itachi is a tactical genius with the Sharingan, specializing in genjutsu and precise mid to long range attacks like Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi. He can literally end a fight before it even starts by trapping someone in a hallucination, or just burning them alive with black flames that never go out. But here's the kicker. Itachi isn't the type to drag out battles, especially with his illness. He needs things done fast, clean, and absolutely efficiently. Here's where Kisame literally shines. This dude is a straight-up monster when it comes to stamina and chakra. He's packing chakra on the level of a tailed beast. And with Samahada, that living sword that devours chakra, he's basically untouchable in any long fight. While Itachi handles threats with brains and precise jutsu, Kisame can just charge in and smash anything that needs raw power. He can whip up a freaking ocean with water release, turning any battlefield into his hunting ground, like a giant shark stalking prey in his own ocean. But here's the really sick part about their power dynamic. On paper, Kisame has more chakra, insane physical strength, and in a straight-up fight could go toe-to-toe with Itachi. But here's the thing. Kisame always, no exceptions, follows Itachi's lead, even if it means passing up a kill, which, let's be honest, he loves. Why? Because Kisame saw in Itachi something he'd been searching for his whole life. Real purpose. Someone worth trusting and following. Kisame's role in this duo wasn't just raw power, he was also the shadow watcher for Itachi. Akatsuki either knew or seriously suspected that Itachi was a Konoha spy, so Kisame was given a quiet mission to keep tabs on him. But over time, their relationship evolved into something way more real. Kisame straight up respected Itachi, a rare thing in Akatsuki, where most pairs just tolerated each other for the sake of the job. This duo was built to handle the biggest threats. They went after the Nine Tails in Naruto, squared off with Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, and Kisame alone managed to seal the Four Tails. Whenever Akatsuki needed someone to handle a major problem, Itachi and Kisame were the go-to team. Now everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to give a huge shout out to all of you, my incredible supporters. Your love and encouragement means so much to me.
Every like, comment, and share inspires me to keep creating and improving my content. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Let's continue to grow together and make amazing memories. You all rock, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much.
Kakuzu and Hiden. Just looking at them, you're like, how the hell do these two even work together? Kakuzu and Hiden hate each other. And I'm not talking small disagreements or friendly rivalry. They legit want to kill each other every single day. Kakuzu had murdered all his previous partners in fits of rage, which is exactly why Akatsuki paired him with Hiden, an immortal dude he can't kill no matter what genius HR move by Akatsuki, honestly. They took two people who couldn't work with anyone else and made one of the most effective teams in the organization. Here's why they hate each other, so you get the dynamic. Hiden's a hardcore fan of Jashin. He needs to perform long, drawn-out killing rituals. Every death has to be properly honored, with prayers and ceremonies. Kakuzu is obsessed with money to a sick degree. Every second Hiden wastes on his rituals is a second Kakuzu could be raking in cash. Hiden thinks Kakuzu's money obsession is blasphemous, and Kakuzu thinks Hiden's rituals are a total waste of precious time. Boom. Recipe for disaster. Every single mission. But here's what makes them an insanely effective fighting machine. Both of them are basically immortal, just in totally different ways. Hiden has real immortality thanks to Jashin. You can chop him up, stab him through the heart, or blow him up. He just comes back together and keeps going. Kakuzu's got 5 hearts stolen from 5 ninja he murdered, each letting him use a different chakra nature and acting like a backup life. You gotta kill him 5 times to really take him out. Put these two together in a team, and they're basically unstoppable. They can't kill each other. And in most fights, nobody else can either. Pure chaos and destruction on the battlefield, hate and immortality fused into one deadly machine. Kakuzu is absolutely crazy, but here's the insane part. He can attack completely wild without worrying about killing Hiden by accident. Hiden's immortal, so even if Kakuzu blasts him with fire release or pierces him with lightning release, dude's totally fine. If Hiden gets chopped into pieces in battle, Kakuzu just stitches him back together with his crazy threads, and they keep rolling. Shikamaru Nara, one of Konoha's top tactical geniuses, straight up said they're unstoppable as long as they're together. No normal weaknesses. They earned the nicknames Immortal Combo or Zombie Combo, and trust me, that's 100% accurate. Kakuzu's role in this duo is crystal clear. He's the manager of Hiden. Kakuzu's way more experienced, has lived through multiple generations, even fought Hashirama Senju, the founder of Konoha. He's seen it all and knows how to stay effective. Hiden, young, reckless, obsessed with Jashin to the point of making dumb moves. Kakuzu constantly has to pull him out of trouble and keep him focused on the mission. Their downfall came when they got split up. Without each other, their raw power drops hard. Shikamaru separated Hiden from Kakuzu and buried him deep in the Nara forest, where he'd be stuck forever because no one could find him. And without Hiden to bait enemies and create chaos, Kakuzu became way more vulnerable. He eventually got taken down by Naruto, Kakashi, and their squad after a long-ass battle. Deidara and Tobi. This duo is wild. You don't know whether to laugh or be scared. After Sasori died, Deidara got paired with Tobi. And honestly, that might be the cruelest partner switch Akatsuki ever pulled. Deidara just lost a teammate who actually debated art philosophy with him. And now he's stuck with some masked dude constantly yelling, "Tobi is a good boy," and acting like a hyperactive kid. On the surface, Tobi looks like a total burden, clueless about fighting or strategy. But here's where Akatsuki's deepest deception comes in. Let's get real about what's actually going on behind the scenes. Tobi isn't a fool. Tobi is Obito Uchiha, the man secretly running the entire Akatsuki. He's the one pulling the strings after Yahiko died, controlling Nagato and Pain, and masterminding the Moon Eye plan. But he pretends to be a dumb clown, so no one suspects a thing. Absolute perfect disguise. Who would ever guess that some orange-masked goof is the mastermind behind everything? Deidara falls for it completely. He even starts teaching Tobi how Akatsuki works, treating him like a little apprentice. The irony is insane. The explosive artist mentoring the guy secretly plotting world domination. This pairing? Hilariously chaotic, deceptively deadly, and absolutely unpredictable. Strategy with this duo is straight up insane once you know the truth. Deidara keeps doing what he does best, raining explosives from the sky with his flying clay birds, causing absolute destruction. He can level an entire area in seconds with C3, or send tiny spider bombs crawling into an enemy's clothes and blow them up from the inside. The deadliest move, C4.
A microscopic bomb you can't even see that invades an enemy's body and tears them apart on a cellular level. And if Deidara really goes full madman, there's C0, turning himself into a literal megabomb with a 10-kilometer blast radius. Toby, on the other hand, acts clumsy and weak. But don't be fooled, he's rocking Kamui, one of the craziest Mangekyo Sharingan techniques in the whole series. Kamui lets Obito make parts of his body invisible by shifting them into another dimension. Every attack just phases through him like he's a ghost. He can also suck people into his dimension or teleport anywhere in an instant. This gives him insane defense and mobility, making Obito one of the hardest ninjas to actually kill. Put these two together, and you've got a team where Deidara goes full-on chaotic bombing, while Toby acts as the ultimate distraction and bait. Toby can rush into melee, drawing attacks that just pass through him uselessly, while enemies freak out trying to hit him, and meanwhile, Deidara rains death from above. They even sealed the three tails together, and in that mission, Toby flexed a bit of his real power, all while still pretending to be a total goof. Alright, here's the real deal about Toby's role in this wild duo. He's not just goofing around, his job is to keep an eye on Deidara and make sure the dude actually does his missions right. Deidara's impulsive as hell, letting his emotions run the show, especially when it comes to his art and ego. Obito needed someone to monitor him and report back. But there's more. Obito's also studying Deidara, seeing how he fights, how he reacts, gathering intel on an Akatsuki member he might have to deal with later. The weird thing is that their relationship actually evolves over time. Deidara keeps trying to kill Toby out of frustration, tossing bombs at him or threatening to blow him sky high. But Toby always survives, thanks to Kamui, and also because Deidara never really goes all the way. Near the end of Deidara's life, you see a rare flicker of care. When he's about to drop a C4 on Sasuke, he tells Toby to get out of the way. And when he goes full-on C0, blowing up himself and Sasuke, he even apologizes to Toby, thinking the idiot's gonna die too. That's a rare moment where Deidara actually gives a damn about someone, even if it's a dumbass he technically hates. Ironically, Toby is totally fine. Kamui shields him from the blast. And after Deidara bites it, he drops the dumb mask act completely. He reveals himself as Madara Uchiha, openly taking control of Akatsuki, and kicks off the final phase of his world domination war plan. Deidara's death doesn't touch Obito emotionally at all. To him, Deidara was just another pawn in the massive game he's been playing. Nagato and Konan. Alright, we gotta talk about one of the coldest duos in all of Akatsuki. Nagato and Konan weren't teamed up for any tactical reason or battle plan stuff. Nah, these two go way back. They were just a couple of starving kids trying to survive in the Rain Village during wartime. Childhood friends who literally crawled through hell together, trained under Jiraiya, and then watched their best friend Yahiko die right in front of them. That tragedy completely broke them, and that's what gave birth to pain. So when you see Konan following Nagato's orders, that's not some subordinate obeying her boss. That's someone who's totally ready to die for the dream they once shared. Even if that dream's been twisted beyond recognition, Nagato didn't even need to show up in person to fight. He controlled 6 bodies remotely through his Rinnegan while his real body was hidden away inside some massive mechanical tower. Those 6 paths of pain could be in 6 different places at once, sharing vision, attacking in perfect sync, and even if you destroyed one body, Nagato could just revive it like it was nothing. Meanwhile, Konan was literally his guardian angel, in every sense of the word. She handled recon, gathered intel, and most importantly, protected Nagato's real body. Her paper jutsu let her split into thousands of sheets, watching over an entire area like some ghostly surveillance network that you absolutely couldn't detect. And when Pain went up against Naruto, Konan stayed close to make damn sure no one got near Nagato's fragile body. The power dynamic here is honestly wild. On paper, Nagato's basically a straight-up god. His Rinnegan puts him on a level way above almost everyone else in the whole series. He can absorb any ninjutsu, summon giant creatures, control gravity like it's nothing, rip souls straight out of bodies, and even bring the dead back to life. Dude's abilities are absolutely insane. But here's what a lot of people totally miss. Konan was the only person Nagato trusted completely. No one else even came close. And Konan herself? Don't let that quiet, loyal vibe fool you for a second. This woman almost killed Obito. Yeah, the same guy secretly pulling the strings behind all of Akatsuki. She planned that fight down to the tiniest detail, setting up 600 billion explosive tags. Literal paper bombs detonating non-stop for 10 minutes straight. All of it designed specifically to counter Obito's intangibility from Kamui.
Her paper jutsu might look graceful and elegant, but she could weaponize it like crazy, creating clones, forming deadly traps. And with her Angel of God mode, she could scatter into thousands of paper sheets and reassemble anywhere she wanted. The tragedy of this duo runs deep. Their bond was built on shared trauma and a dream that got totally twisted. Yahiko wanted peace through understanding. Nagato warped that dream into peace through pain and fear. And Konan, even though deep down she knew this wasn't what Yahiko would have wanted, still followed Nagato, because leaving him would have meant throwing away everything they suffered for. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. Now, the weirdest duo in all of Akatsuki. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are technically two totally different beings, but together, they form one body and operate as a single member called Zetsu. They're the only pair in the whole organization that doesn't really fight together in the usual sense, because that's not their job. They're the intel team, the cleanup crew, the transport unit, basically, the eyes and ears of Akatsuki. Now let's break down their roles. White Zetsu is all about stealth and mimicry. He can literally merge with the ground, trees, or any kind of terrain, and even transform into other people with terrifying accuracy. His mayfly technique lets him move through the earth and plants like they're not even there, making him the ultimate spy, totally undetectable. He can pop up anywhere, anytime, without leaving a single trace of chakra. That's exactly why he handled transporting captured Jinchuriki to Akatsuki's secret base's Black Zetsu, though. Completely different beast. Silent, calculating. And here's the thing most people totally missed until the very end. Black Zetsu wasn't made by Obito or Madara Nope. He's actually the living will of Kaguya Otsutsuki herself, the puppet master who literally manipulated the entire history of the ninja world for thousands of years. While White Zetsu played the spy, Black Zetsu was the mastermind, the brain behind everything. Together, they could track anyone, attend Akatsuki meetings to report updates, and vanish without a trace. When Sasuke killed Itachi, someone had to grab the body and clean up the scene, right? That was Zetsu. When Akatsuki needed to move a captured Jinchuriki without getting caught? Zetsu again. When someone needed to spy on Naruto or other targets from afar? Zetsu handled it better than any sensory jutsu out there. White Zetsu eventually got wiped out during the Fourth Great Ninja War. But Black Zetsu, he actually pulled it off. He straight up betrayed Madara, the guy everyone thought was running the whole show, and revived Kaguya. Alright, that's it for today, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.